Alrighty, what's up everyone? Jonathan here with Boston Collectors, and today's video is going to be about Luke Skywalker from The Last Jedi. Now, I went to my local comic shop here in Boston, and they ended up actually having two of these. So one was in the glass shelf, which is in the bedroom. It was a gift that I got from my fiance, and then they had, again, like I said, brand new. One, well, technically they're both brand new. I don't know if the person who had it previously just decided to get an extra one and maybe use it as an investment opportunity. I don't know. But the one that was actually in the cabinet was, they never really posed it. In fact, it still had the wrapping on the neck, and I don't know. Like, I guess some people just want the figure and they don't care about the props or any of the accessories that come with the figure, because those were all sealed, like the sticker, like they were still bound to the clamshell. So very interesting to see. But this is the new one. As you can see, we don't get that that nice looking cigar wrap here. So just going straight into the box design. There we have Luke. We have that Star Wars engraved logo there. We have the gunmetal there on the sides, the black. This is also MMS 458, by the way. Again, as you can see, the sides are pretty bland. And something that I would love to see a bit more often, just having an image here on the back. I think this would just tie that premium feel to a lot of the boxes together. Because again, I love it. We have the Star Wars engraved logo there. And again, we have this wonderful vignetting around the image, and looks nice, right? So let's go ahead and let's crack the box open. Curious if any of you actually have this one or passed on it. There we go. No, I mean, this isn't it's a very generic image. If anything, I feel like the image on the back is a lot better than this, but hey, you know, it's it is what it is, right? No big deal. Thank you for the insert, but this is probably one of the more underwhelming, if not the most underwhelming image that I actually have seen in a Hot Toys box. All right, so right away we're met with, again, this accessory tray. Let's go ahead and actually get this out of the box. All right, and here we go. Now, again, everything here, this is the brand new version. This isn't the other one that was in the cabinet. Again, like I pointed out previously, we have two trays of accessories that we'll be getting into after we go over what we have here. Now, one thing that I do want to note, I love how they just sort of made this pocket here for this really cool looking cloak. This looks really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. So, I mean, as we can see, we have the Porg. Look at that cute little guy. And then let's just go straight to the figure, right? That's what we're here for. Look at that. Oh, man, I love those wraps. Look at this. Straight to it. Oh, man. That's a great head sculpt. I definitely like this one over the other one on the other version they have. He feels great. He looks great. Oh, I can't wait to get into that. Let's go ahead and put that back on for now. Yeah, he's looking phenomenal in there. So let's go ahead and get into the accessory portion. But before I do want to let you all know, like, this really wasn't on my radar. It just so happened that, you know, this was something that my fiance wanted, and because they had two, I figured, you know, why not? I like the head sculpt on this one. I like, you know, the way he looks. Yeah, I feel like he'll look great next to Luke Crate, but he was never on that, oh my goodness, I need to have this list. So glad to have it though. I got this again from the local comic shop for 230 bucks. So it's a little under retail. And again, brand new, you can't beat that. He's not sold on Hot Toys anymore, so, or I'm sorry, not Hot Toys, but on Sideshow anymore, so. And I believe if you want to get him now on eBay, a little over that, but Hey, I didn't have to. All right, so here we have the base. Let's go ahead and start with the boring stuff first. Now, they gave us this sort of, like, I guess the planet where he abandoned all hope, if you will, and kind of marooned himself on an island. So you have that texture going on here. It is textured. I'm pretty sure this is also a sticker. I never used these, so I'm pretty sure this is a sticker. Let me know in the comment section if you actually use these and if I'm correct. Now, next up, I kind of want to keep this with this for a reason. I personally love the way that this look. Now, one thing that I would change, I would like this maybe to be over there and sort of a gradient, you know, coming from the side. And maybe move that over there, but either way, or, you know, if it's going to be over there, just turn the face to look this way. To me, it just looks a little odd looking off versus being over there or flipped and looking in. I don't know, but either way, I really, really, really love this. More of this, please. And not to mention, look at that nameplate. I love it when they go all out and, you know, kind of deck out the nameplates as well. Other than that, it's pretty typical. It doesn't take up a lot of space. You don't get that huge diamond-like thing going on there. Really like it. With that, we get the crotch Cradler 9000. Just kind of plug that in there as is. If I'm correct, and this is a sticker, you don't actually have to stick it on. Look at that. It holds it in place for you. Again, getting the boring stuff out of the way first. We do have instructions. I'm pretty sure this is going to teach us how to plug in the little accessories onto the backpack, which we'll get into shortly. And then we also have extra pegs because, you know, things happen. Things usually happen. If your luck's bad, you're grateful for these, just like I am. Alrighty, and next up we have this cute looking porg. Isn't that adorable? Look at that. It's so cute. Now, you will need to actually put this stand on in order for it to stand up, because without it, it won't. So cute. Alrighty, and we have a couple walking sticks here. We have his cane, and I'm pretty sure he used this as well to walk on. I could be wrong. I didn't actually see him use this in the movie, but I also haven't watched the film that much. I think I only watched it twice, maybe 2.5 times, but I know for sure he used this to walk around with. Very nice, very textured. This isn't like cloth or anything on this. This is actually sculpted onto it. Look at the way that it looks there. Kind of looks like a snake. But, of course, you know, as you can tell, this is actually cloth. The rest of it is sculpted on, though. Next up, even though we never saw him actually ignite the saber, we actually get it with the... Whoa, that's in there. Okay. We actually get the ignited saber effect with it. But we didn't actually see him ignite this, as far as I can recall. And we also we have that hook on it, so I'm pretty sure we can put that on his belt. I always like that. Love that. So let's go ahead and get into the hands a bit. Again, I really like this gesture. I don't know why they go all out for Luke, but it looks very, very nice, very clean. Love that gesture. So we have the force push gesture here. We have the saber holding hand there. Gonna have to fight that a bit. It's pretty strong. We have another force gesturing hand there as well. Really nice. And then we also have him wielding the saber in this hand, which isn't as difficult as the glove hand. There we go. Now we have the bag. Look at this. I think I might actually end up using this for Grogu. It almost looked like something that Mando could like wrap around his person and utilize. I don't know. I'll think on it, but I really like the weathered look to it. It looks kind of dirty and old, and it's got some like grime to it. Feels really nice though. It's got some cotton on the inside, probably just to make it appear full, but this is looking like a Grogu bag. Now, one of the cool pieces to this whole thing, which it comes on this little cardboard piece, I really like the look of this. If you've played Jedi Fallen Order, you're going to know why I referenced this, but it looks like Cal Kestis's, like the thing that he has over his person. This looks cool. I love the little tassels there. We have this little button there as well. It doesn't have any like wiring in it, so we can't bend it and make any dynamic sort of flow, if you will. I don't see any inserts, so you can't put any galvanized wire in it. Yeah, they tied those up pretty nicely, but overall, I love the look of this. I might actually pose him in this. Alrighty, now look at this. This thing right here is so cool. Look at all the little details. You got the water canister. You've got the rope. Looks like maybe the bedroll underneath. I'm not really sure what this is for though. Maybe you campers can let me know what that's for. Looks like we've got some twine, maybe for starting fires. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but you can tell it's a button. Maybe it's to help activate something. I'm not sure. But look at these cute little pockets. The straps on this. Look at this. It's so cool. Looks like we got some dirt and like nasty grime in there. Maybe a little bit of sweat. Oh, that's so cool. Then we got some dirt and grime on the sides. Obviously, we have it there on the pockets. This backpack is awesome. I love this thing. There is something that I want to point out. You have these tiny, teeny tiny little grooves here where you can also place some of the tools. See it? We got it there as well. So we have 3 over there and we have 3 right there. Now the tools, we might have a very difficult time getting it to focus. So let's give it a shot. All right, so we've got these super teeny tiny tools. We don't have, much wear and tear on them, but these look pretty old, right? It looked like maybe this is sort of a blowtorch, if you will. There isn't a hole or anything in it. We don't have any bluing on it. Again, these are so minute, but very, very detailed. You can't really see too much on them. I'm not going to say that I'm upset we don't have weathering on it because they're so tiny. Imagine having to paint weathering on a lot of these pieces. Holy moly. This figure will cost a bit more than what they were asking for. Alrighty, and last but not least, we have this compass. Let's see if we can open it. There we go. I want to say this is what we picked up in Battlefront 2. I can't be for certain about that though. I'm not really 100% certain about that, but I feel like this is what we went in that cave and picked up when we saved the that Imperial guy, or it could have been like a wayfinder of sorts, but I think this is pretty cool. And this looks like a necklace of some sort. I never really saw this. So it's got like this red gem, maybe a key to the Jedi Temple. It's really cool though. I might not take this out. I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty, so here we are with the face sculpt here of Mark Hamill portraying Luke Skywalker. Now, it took me a bit because I really wanted to dial in the lights so that it could point out a lot of key features that I wanted you all to take notice of on this portrait. Now, the hair sculpt, in my opinion, is top notch. I thought that the hair sculpt on Anakin looked very well, but this knocks it out of the park. I honestly feel like there are no seams on this portrait anywhere. I don't know if there are seams or if there's got to be some sort of seams on this, right? I mean, it only makes sense in my opinion, but you can't see it regardless of the fact that it might be. Now, another thing that I want to point out is because our recent review for Luke Skywalker from Crate, which I'm going to go ahead and leave link up top. This looks a lot older than that version. This is what I wish they sort of went with. Now, I have absolutely no issues with this head sculpt. I can't point anything out that I feel is bad. I love the detail in that brow there, that furrow brow, and you know the wrinkles in the cheek, and the beard is phenomenal. I want a beard like that. Holy hell. The eyes, and I don't know, you know, like I know a lot of people want, again, a lot of their pieces to look like they walked straight out of a movie, but this looks like Mark Hamill, in my opinion. I'm not going to compare and, you know, put a portrait up or anything like that, but it looks phenomenal. All right, so here we have Luke Skywalker. I was able to like really play around with this piece. I don't think I've ever had a figure come with so many different things to put on. So I took off the coat. I went ahead and I added that raincoat sort of cloak, if you will, around him instead, just because it looked a bit too much to me. But I don't know. It might have looked cool, but I don't like when things look so jumbled up personally. So having that bag on, having the brown coat on, then having this cloak on, and then the hood, it looked like a bit too much. So I went with something a bit more natural here, sort of a natural pose. Again, like this piece it was a lot of fun to just play around with. There is one thing that I want to point out, and it's this hood. That hood right there, those seams are glued down. So because of it, the hood sort of separated. The inside of it separated from the outside of it. So I'm going to have to go in and find some glue, make sure that that goes back down. I wish that they had stitched that. So if you're picking up this figure, or like it's on your list, make sure that you're very careful when posing the hood on this figure because it's glued down. Outside of that, again, putting this bag on wasn't too much of a hassle. You pop off the head sculpt, you bring the hood up, and then you just sort of loop it around there. You're going to have to raise that hand up as well, and then you're pretty much good to go. Now, believe it or not, that hand is actually just propped up there because the peg is stuck in this one. Wow, these hands are crazy strong when it comes to the pegs. I really genuinely think you need the pegs that come with this because the hands don't play. So let's go ahead and turn on the turntable just so we can get a nice 360 on this figure. Alrighty, so here we have Luke Skywalker. Again, if you're looking for a piece where you can just really goof around and enjoy a lot of the different pieces that come with a figure, this is definitely it. Again, I picked this thing up for less than retail, and for everything that it comes with, if you're one of those people who just really enjoy accessories and like really telling a story with your piece, I really feel like this is one of them. Now, I get, like, you know, for example, Rey, she comes with a lot of pieces, right? And that's cool. Like, yeah, you get a lot of accessories, but this one is so much different from Rey because you can tell so many different stories. So, for example, this one just sort of looked like he's going out, maybe hunting for meat, or maybe going out to pick some vegetables or fruit, and he has a stick. Maybe he's at the market. Who knows? But then when you have the backpack on his person, it looks as if you're going for a hike. When you have him in his coat and a backpack, maybe it could look a bit different. And if you have his compass and maybe just him wandering with his bag, maybe he's hunting for something specific. Having him with his saber or the saber ignited and none of the bags on, like, you can tell so many different stories with this figure. Now, to get down into the nitty gritty, if you will, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. He's got butterfly joints in the shoulders. You can really go nuts with this figure and tell whatever kind of story you want. Now, there is one thing I do want to point out. The hood there, no bueno. This, that right there, that should be sewn down. In my opinion, I get trying to make it appear seamless. If you look there, you see how it appears seamless. I understand it to a certain extent, but if you're picking up this figure and you want to put that hoodie on, or maybe you change your mind, maybe you're just doing a bunch of different poses like I did, that didn't really take any time to come apart. I maybe posed that thing twice and the seam was already coming apart. And by the time I noticed it, I don't know how many poses in I was, but I started taking pictures. Again, I've really had fun posing this, just because like the range of motion and being able to do so many different things. I ended up pausing the video here. I should have been getting things together, and here I'm really enjoying the storytelling part of this whole piece. So back to Luke. The double jointed elbows really give you a wide range of possibilities when it comes to posing this piece. So if you're looking to tell a story, specific to your collection, you will definitely have fun with that. Now, I do want to point out though, you got to be very, very careful when moving, like the cloak, for example, on its person. I know it might be a tough thing to do, but make sure you take off that head sculpt. You don't want to like end up putting a run or something anywhere, or maybe ripping off the cloak, or make sure you take off the portrait. That's very important. Second thing is, I do wish, again, like I feel like a lot of these pieces could come with fists, and it doesn't, because that could tell a completely different story too, add extra to the storytelling, but it didn't. I'm able to work with what they have for now. More on that later as we close, but I'm having fun posing this thing. All right, so my final thoughts on this figure. Again, holy moly. Let's start with the bad first. And there aren't really too many bad things about this piece. I just really wish that when it came to the hands with this piece, we had fists. I think that's just my thing with a lot of figures. I don't understand why we don't have, like, we should have neutral hands. We should always have fists. And the rest should be complementary to what we've seen with the character. That's really it in terms of bad, I suppose. The other thing which I mentioned earlier was I wish that they chose to go with a better seam for the hood instead of gluing it down. It's not my favorite thing. Another thing that I want to point out, and it's just probably with mine a QC issue, the boot down there, when putting that boot in, I don't think whoever did it at Hot Toys really paid attention to how they put it in, because there's a very deep bend in the back of it. So in posing the figure, it pops off because of that. So I'm pretty sure over time though, like if I were to heat it up and sort of bend it out, it would be totally fine. But that's something that I feel like they need to keep in mind when doing these things. Let's go ahead and turn on the turntable though for some dynamic expression here. So again, there's a lot of great dynamic poses that you can do with this piece. We never saw him like this in the film, but the fact that we can do it and tell a story with this figure, that's probably one of the coolest things about it altogether. Being able to storytell and making it appear as something that you want to tell on your shelf. Again, this never happened. but it's happening on in my room, so it works. I also like the fact that again, it comes with so many accessories. And it's not just accessories to be accessories. If anything, there's only one piece that may not make sense, but it makes total sense. It's the Porg. Like, I think it's cute, but I don't see a reason to necessarily go and say, oh my goodness, I need to put this with it to tell a bigger story. I don't feel like I need to, but I'm glad that I have it. Now, when it comes to the rest of the clothing, again, I love the way that they chose to knit those and the feeling, the different type of textures throughout the rest of the clothing. It's just wow, so many details. The backpack and the tiny little minute accessories, the little drills and things like that. So cool. So cool. I do wish if I were to make one more teeny tiny thing, the lightsaber hand is a bit too prominent in the downward motion. So if you were to actually bend that lightsaber hand down, the one that's actually on his person holding the lightsaber, it appears more like Dooku when he ignites his saber, how it's sort of down in this elegant like fashion. That's the only issue that I have with it. Maybe a bit straighter, similar to what we have here with him holding the lightning rod, which I found out was a lightning rod later on. You see how that hand is sort of like straight, but the one on his right hand is sort of angled? That's the only issue. And honestly, that's not really an issue if you just put that saber in that hand, but who knows? You know, somebody might have an issue with it. So just keep that in mind. Now, all in all, I am super happy that I have this figure. He's going to look fantastic in the room. I don't know, maybe I need to start a Luke shelf because this is the second one. And I guess with the Luke Skywalker Deluxe featuring Grogu, featuring Grogu coming in next year, it's going to look pretty good. I don't really see myself getting too many other Lukes though. If I were to get one more, it will probably be the one featuring the metal hand. My fiance is constantly talking about it, and I think the more she bring it up, the more I want it, because it's kind of it's the last time we actually get to see him. And in the end in the film, that's pretty much what he died in. You know what I mean? When he came back as a Force ghost, he came back in those garbs. So that might be it. So I probably might max out at 4. I don't really need the original trilogy Luke. If they were to update it and update the head sculpt, maybe, but I don't really see a reason for it personally. Again, if you're looking for this figure, it's sold out. Sorry, you're going to have to go to the secondary market. And honestly, if you can get this thing for below retail, it's genuinely a steal. I don't see why you wouldn't want it. I know that this particular version of Luke didn't really, like, I guess it depends on the person though. It didn't really resonate with a lot of people apart from Luke from Crate. And again, the metal hand version of Luke, which again, pretty freaking awesome. So this is Jonathan with Boston Collectors. Don't forget to join us over on our social medias, Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe here. We're also doing things on TikTok. I'm going to be doing a lot of posing over there. I might do some pose videos here. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I see, shout out to 1/6 scale man, my dude out there banging out poses. Take your position. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. He's done, I believe, Rey, and I want to say maybe Kylo. I know he's done 2 videos, but shout out to him, man. He's doing his thing. Now, last thing, thank you all so much for the support. We've grown tremendously, honestly, in the last month, and your support means a lot. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to a lot of you who pop into the comments section. Daniel, shout out to y'all. You know, we appreciate y'all, man. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe, show some love to the other social media platforms. This is Jonathan with Boston Collectors. Take it easy.